Hello, James. I was really pleased with what you've done with Megatron, who historically has never been one of my favorite characters because I found him too one-dimensional. But what you've done over the past year has really been fantastic. And I was curious, what was it that inspired you to have Megatron do the faction switch, and so far seems to be doing his best to try and get past all his dark history?
Well, I can't claim credit entirely for the idea. I mean, it came about through essentially a brainstorming session for Dark Cybertron back in August 2012, actually. So I remember that the last part of, or the first part of Shadowplay was about to be released. That's how long ago it was. And there was a brainstorming session at sort of Hasbro's headquarters, because there was a plan to, use the next wave of Generation toys to tie in more closely with the comics and things. And, the 12-part Dark Cybertron was the result. And there was a number of us in there. John Barber was there too, and others from Hasbro. And it was sort of, we were I was going to say literally throwing things at the wall. It didn't get to that point, but we were having ideas and writing them down. And it was someone else that said, "Oh, what about Megatron becoming an Autobot?" And it was sort of, it didn't go anywhere, but it didn't. It hung in the air as a possibility, and I think it was. I certainly thought to myself then, okay, that's a huge ask in terms of getting the audience to swallow the fact that he would change, but at the same time, it's quite challenging too. And if we are going to go down that path and Megatron is going to become good, then I'd like him, please. I'd like to have him on the Lost Light. We knew that Prime wasn't on the Lost Light, obviously. He was doing his own thing in space. And, there were some pretty big A-listers in Robots in Disguise. And I have actually liked being able to play with sort of the C and D-listers in More Than Meets the Eye, but there was an appeal in having a real iconic Transformer character on the Lost Light. So I thought, if we are going to do that with Megatron and he's up for grabs, I'll have him, please. And go from there, because by that point, I mean, I'd already written the Chaos Theory two-parter in 2011, which had really tried to explore his origins and his motivations, and sort of given a bit of some political texture to his character development. So it seemed, a real opportunity to go and run with that and build on those foundations. So yeah, I'm glad you like where he is in season 2. And he's got a few more travails and obstacles to come, some pretty significant ones. We're certainly heading towards the finale of season 2, and it's all been about him. Even if he's not front and center in the stories, most of what's happened is because of him. It's people's reactions to him. And when I presented to IDW the season 2 Bible, which set out the arcs for various characters, it says at the very beginning, season 2 is Megatron, and it's about either what he does or what other people do because of him. So it's all coming to a head.
Thank you.
I feel like it's an inquiry and I've done something really bad. It's like ex-partners lining up and saying, "And then you did this to me." How do you explain that? Actually, this is very similar to that, with the audience watching on. Sorry, right, you've got a question.
Good, all good. Obviously, I'm not going to ask what rung is, because that's a giant spoiler. But we had that alternate timeline where Megatron was killed, and it's hinted whatever the heck he is, it's something vital and important and world-altering. Are we ever going to see more of that, or is that just kind of a, look, we did this thing, and now you'll never know?
I'm not saying I'm above doing that, but but no, that's there'll be a return to the Functionist universe. Yeah.
I'm glad I won't die curious.